this, but well, I'll find it here in a second because I'm going to have to use it on that cover. Pull the oil seal out of this one, and I do not have another seal, I don't think. You know what, I'm going to put the new seal on the back cover, so I'll just go ahead and use the one I've cleaned up already. This side's obviously not clean, but cleaned this side up yesterday. Yeah, we'll use that. I do the oil seals after I put the motor all together because, I don't know, that's just the way I do it. Alright, so next on the list, this one does not have an oil safety, so I need to remember what the heck I call those things. They're not lifters, I don't think. What do I call those fuckers? Alright, where is my timing mark? There we go. It's right here on this tooth. Probably really hard to see. See if I can get it in the light here. There's a tiny, tiny little mark right there. And that tooth has to line up with the mark right here on this one. And there we go. Like I said, I don't know if you can see it. There's a tiny little indentation there and a bigger one there. So, as far as the inside of this motor, because it doesn't have the oil cut off, I'm done inside the block. So, easy enough. This thing's a little beat up. That one fits right in. Let's see, a new gasket. Stupid stuff like this is what hurts a broken finger. The silliest things you wouldn't think would bother you. feel like I'm forgetting something this whole time, but it's all there. There's nothing to it with the oil safety not there. Put new crank bearings in this motor also. So now you don't want to go crazy with a hammer when you're doing this. Lightly tap it. I like to tap it around this square where the mounts are for like a pressure washer or something. You mount on the edge or pound on the edges, you could possibly snap a corner off or something. Alright. Now there should be 6 12mm bolts here. One, two, 3, 4, 5. There's number 6. Yeah, it's covered in dirt, but it's going to get pressure washed after it's back together before it goes on the machine. I just want to get the motor done. Still got a lot to do to the machine. It needs new knives, bearings, needs some bushings. We're going to put pneumatic tires on it instead of those foam-filled ones. It'll probably drop the weight about 50 pounds, and people don't pop tires on these things, so we want to be able to air the tires up a little bit to compensate for the bushings going bad in the blades. That way they don't drag the ground, or it takes longer for them to start dragging before we have to shut it down and get it out of the rental. So I got 12. I did a review on these Craftsman. This is my impact driver. I've got my drill. I think it's sitting over there. This thing is great. So alright. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and lay into it here. I don't know the exact inch pounds that these are supposed to be torqued to unless I look at the manual. I used to go by that, but this thing puts out like I think 12 or 1400 inch pounds. So I know it's probably a little bit overkill on these to kind of torque them down with that, but good way to get a good seal on your gasket, and heck, you don't have to use your hands or a torque wrench. I've never had a problem with torquing them down with an impact driver. Always works, lasts, no issues. I'm going to go ahead and put a little oil in this because it feels a little dry. You know what, I'll just use the assembly lube. Yeah, if this was a racing motor, you'd want to not do a lot of things that I'm doing here, but like I said at the beginning of the video, it's just for a piece of lawn equipment. Sometimes they'll last a long time, sometimes you got to rebuild them. The dried dirt and dust this year without any rain took a lot of these out. So that's why I'm putting new rings in all of them. Doing new rings and different style filters. Now I've got to use a different style cup because I don't have any more of these recoils for this type of cup. I take the plastic starter paws, and one thing I got left are the older ones with the metal paws. Sometimes they'll work in these, but I don't like using them for that. So I need a 3/4 inch so I can go rob a different cup. There we go. Now if you want to know if this works good, I'm about to show you, because a lot of times the nuts for these flywheels are on there pretty tight. So far it's been just buzzing stuff off. I think I saw a cup on a motor right over here yesterday. If it's even a Honda. And it is. This one's not going to be a 3/4. Shit. Step up to 1 inch in the electric impact, if I can find it. There it is. What size is this stupid thing? 13/16. It's either they're going to be this or 7/8, I think. Most of them I do are 3/4 on a Honda. Oh, come on. Let's see what we got here. 13/16. What was that? Oh, 15/16. That's this one probably won't fit either. I have to go all the way back there and get my 7/8. This cobalt impact right here is nice also. Strongest one I've ever used. not my toolbox, so gotta put that up. Yes, you can switch cups on these. A lot of the cheap recoils you buy off of eBay and Amazon come with a cup. Did that with that Cobalt one day and snapped the tip of the crank off. That didn't make anybody here very happy. Feels good. I got a piece of sandpaper sitting here. I'm gonna clean that off. Yeah, here we go. This isn't really a necessary thing, but it's right in front of me and it's dirty. Why not just go ahead and clean it off while I got it apart? You can see where it's wore.